First off, on behalf of Supra and DrayPower, we thank you for your business. In an effort to improve our systems to make your process easier, our YMS system has gone through a complete redesign that we will review in today's video. The YMS 2.0 version includes the following enhancements: an improved check-in and check-out process to handle gate transactions as dual transactions, better inventory visibility, enhanced storage and billing per day tracking under the container history, an improved filtering on all screens, and the enhanced driver management. So let's get started. When you open YMS for the first time, you might see two screens, either this one that allows you to log in or this one that is a landing page for you to get to the login page, okay? In either version, if you have this one first, all you have to do is click start, and that takes you to the login page. This is still under construction, but it still allows you to log in. Okay, so if you are a Supra login, so an administrator from the Supra team, then you use the blue button, which is the Supra National Express. But for all others, so for our customers, if you're a carrier that uses YMS to keep track of your inventory, then you log in as you can see here with the regular email and password fields. So here I have my carrier login. So I'm going to log in by clicking on sign in. That's going to take me into our new YMS platform. So when you first log in, you're going to see this screen here. All you have to do is click go for the YMS carrier portal. And here you have the new screens. So as I mentioned earlier, one of our improved or enhancements of this new version of YMS is our improved check-in and check-out process, which you will find here under the in-gate and out-gate menu option. Okay, so this has gone through a complete change where now this is a two-in-one process where we're handling the transactions as a dual transaction. So first, you're going to enter your driver's license. So in here, you'll see when you click on this field, you'll see a drop down of your drivers. And if your driver doesn't appear, it means that he or she is not in your driver management system. So you can always add it. But because I do have it, I'm going to select license, the license I want. And that brings in the driver name and by default, my SCAT code. If we know the truck number that they're using, you can enter it here. Okay, so the process here is for you to let us know what the driver is coming with, what are they in-gating with, and what are they out-gating with. Okay, I forgot to mention that you have the option to select what yard you are bringing the container in and out-getting it from. By default, we have it set to Linwood. Okay, so under the in-gate, there's many different options that we added to improve the gate transactions, which is, is the driver going into our gate bobtail? Are they bringing something out? Are they coming in with a chassis? Are they coming with a trailer? We're able to manage those now. Before, we've had customers, have issues with not being able to enter just a chassis by itself. So we fix all those things with this new version. Okay, so if I'm coming in bobtail and I want to outgate a container, I can click on the drop down to see my inventory. And because I don't have anything, that means that I can't select it. So I'm going to change this from bobtail. So if I click on it, it selects the option here, and then it changes if I want to enter a trailer number, if I want to enter bobtail. If I'm going to enter a container or chassis, all you have to do is deselect any of the three options that you selected so that you can open up the container chassis field. So here I'm going to enter a container. So I'm going to in-gate with a container and a chassis. You're loaded. We have the option to flip. So if for some reason you're coming in with that chassis, with that container and chassis, and you're going to leave with your chassis because there's going to be a flip, you have to select flip in the in-gate, because when you're in-gating, you're going to process a flip so that you can leave with the chassis only. So there's different combinations. All you have to worry about is making sure that you tell us what the driver is coming in with and what the driver is leaving with. Okay, so in this case, we'll keep it simple. We're in-gating with the container and we're out-gating bobtail. Okay, so once you hit confirm, you're going to process the QR code. So you'll see here, currently we are experiencing some issues with the QR code not being texted to some drivers, not all, but don't worry about that because our clerks have the QR code saved. So as soon as you process this QR code, we have a copy of that. So as long as you're processing the QR code and the driver gets to the gate, they can just say, I'm here, I already have a QR code processed, and they can look it up fairly quickly. Okay, so that's one of the enhancements that we also included for our own operations. Okay, so that's it. Once you generate the QR code, the driver can go to our yard and say what they're there for. The next enhancement that I talked about is better inventory visibility. So under the yard storage column or menu option, you have an in-yard inventory. Okay, so ahead and process that container to the yard, see the inventory. Okay, so now that we check that container in from the clerks or Supra side, if I go back to the yard storage, I should see my container now. So here, when you jump into the yard storage, you're going to see your in-yard inventory, which is going to show you all the containers that are currently in all yards. If you need to filter by a specific yard, if you have containers in more than one yard, then you have the option to filter the screen by yard as well. So that's another improvement that we have is the filtering options on all the screens. You can filter by yard, you can filter by container chassis, trailer, by the start date, and so on. You can also print this or export this out to Excel in case you need a copy of your inventory. In the yard storage inventory history button, you can click on that and it's going to give you all the history of a start and end date. So if you need to see your inventory for the past month, then you can filter by that date range and you're going to see the historical information of all the containers that were at one point in our yard. Okay. So moving on to the next enhancement is the enhanced storage and billing per day tracking. So that means that under a container history, we are tracking how many spots you have booked with us. If you have a booked set of spots with us, we keep track of how many overages you've had. So right now I only have one container in the system out of the 10, so I don't have any overages. So we keep track of this billing on a daily basis. You can see how many containers were over and how many containers you had on a given day. So if you click on view, that's going to take you to that list of containers that are making up that day of billing or that day of the container tracking. Okay, so that's that for that feature for the enhanced container history. Now for the last enhancement is our drivers management. We did a few upgrades to this where now we are able to edit the drivers and activate and deactivate drivers that are in your list. So that way you don't have to enter a start date and end date. Okay, and you can also add new drivers by updating the list, which has been improved and made it a lot easier for you to just fill in the appropriate fields. Okay, you can always delete a driver, edit a driver by clicking on that edit icon, and so on. So every screen has the rows page as well here, and you can always, if you have more than a certain amount viewed, you can always look here to see if you need to view more. Okay, and if you have any questions or you want a dedicated training session, please don't hesitate to reach reach back to us and we will coordinate a time that works for you. Thank you for watching.